0-4. When is the last time Gaming Gladiators had a day that bad? Well, it might just happen here with a lineup from OG in this last game of the night. Beast, Boars, and Bears. Avery, that is the crux of their lineup.
We'll see if it works out. We were actually just discussing that the zoo kind of fell off, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I personally, my gut intuition says this patch is pretty rough for Western Europe.
Is that your intuition or is that your dream?
Well, sometimes things align, you know, stars align and you end up on OG. And so I think sometimes pieces just fall together. You also have to consider that Western Europe has been dominating for a while. Usually what happens in Dota is when you dominate, like, you get nerfed.
Yeah, Valve
inevitable.
will specifically usually nerf whatever team wins TI, their strategies that they did. To
not even necessarily specifically. It can be like it doesn't have to be conscious by Valve. It's just you're winning. The stuff that's winning looks broken. It's going to get nerfed. So like, Western Europe's going to have to adjust a little bit. And I think one of the things that really hurt them was like Zoo falling off a bit, right? You had this period where the Brood, the Beast, the Visage, the Lycan were all meta. And that's just disgusting for some of these teams that generally dominated with those Aura builds and had some of these players like 33 or Ace that were just terrors on these heroes. I mean, a lot of those are just falling off right now. They're not completely out of it. They're still very viable, but, you know, is Brood a first pick? No, we're getting it last. So it's something that these teams are going to have to make up here and figure out as the meta develops right now. And maybe for some of these more skirmish-heavy spellcaster teams, they're just thriving. And here, Ace will go back to the tried and true Broodmother as he looks to put it to use. We'll see if this hero can perform well. I mean, honestly, on paper, it's not a free Brood game. Like, the matchup versus the Ursa is great. If you can get some lane domination going, you're going to be happy. But again, you are against the Venge. Very hard hero to lane dominate verse. And the Primal and the Beast, even the Coddle, all do pretty well versus you in the mid game. Like, OG has Spider Clear. They have BKB control for you. They have heroes that can catch and grab you with the Primal Beast. This is not a bad lineup versus Brood in that mid game as long as Ace doesn't get out of control.
Now, one of the nerfs that they did hit Broodmother with in 7.3.4 is that the lifesteal from creeps is reduced by 40%, which is a pretty big way on how Broodmother would win her lane, right? Like, you want to be able to trade with these heroes, but if you get low enough, then hitting the creeps is good enough. Like, it was just a good source of regen for this hero a lot, especially in a matchup like this, which can be a little tough, the Ursa.
Laning has definitely been nerfed a bit. Honestly, though, I don't really care how my Brood does lane-wise. I care what it does for me in, like, the 10 to 20-minute mark.
Okay.
How fast does it escalate the game, and what items does it build that are great as time dilation is going to snag one for Dyrachyo here. An early kill for the Faceless Void. Very nice pickup for him. Of course, Seb, you know, he's happy to pick up some solo XP here. There's no problem. I'll blinding light you and deny a creep. Get wrecked. You're also talking about this Coddle pick. I honestly think the Coddle was just his go-to matchup for the Grimstroke. We're going to see a lot more Grimstroke this meta. Coddle's one of those heroes that does very well versus him on the lane. Grimstroke has no sustain versus the Blast. The Faceless Void counteracts that, which is definitely nice here. One of the things the game would have going for them. But the Blinding Light bounce versus Grim is just hella annoying at like all points in the game.
Sure, I could see that, yeah. Being able to push away the Inkswell target.
It's just one of those lanes you can shove in as the Coddle. The Grim has a hard time contesting those pulls on the side. Sometimes you just feed to a really strong offlaner. Coddle can play for like Triangle and Ancient stacks as well. Something else that Grim has a tough time contesting if he's low level because he can't kill you because you get blinding lighted on every Inkswell. It's one of those small game progression matchups that it's very favorable for Coddle if you play it really well. Something I would expect to see from Seb here. Maybe something that can get OG going into that mid game in a really good spot if they can create some stacks for the Battle Fury Ursa, some stacks for the Beastmaster, just get their cores really fat. And then even if the Brood has a good laning phase, like who cares, right?
Yeah.
And so far, his lane is not that one-sided.
I think it's a pretty nice hero for Primal Beast to be able to work with as well. Remember when we were the gas station lineup, right? When we had Crystal Maiden, Coddle, and Pugna all running around with like Storm Spirits and stuff. I feel like Coddle Primal Beast is one of those. Primal Beast is a hero who wants to stay out on the map and constantly be hunting heroes and making impact or pushing waves, and Coddle enables that.
I mean, it's also a hero that just wants mana.
Yeah, and lower cooldowns help. I mean, the cooldowns are already low, but
he is getting beat up mid, that's for sure. This Shaker matchup is not fun as it progresses. I mean, Shaker's very good versus Hero until you have BKB on the Primal. It just decimates you. Too much interrupt for your spells. Look for the rune. Nah, not far enough.
In there.
It's just very hard. I don't think you could beat Shaker with a melee hero, honestly. I don't know what melee hero beats this hero mid.
Yeah, I don't think there is one.
It's not possible. I mean, the totem denies, too. You can always go for that. You really want to be a nerd about it. You know, Quinn
just did that. He's pretty nerdy.
Yeah, he's pretty damn nerdy, so.
I love the fact that I'm not a mid laner, so I don't really know a lot of matchups most of the time.
True.
And I love when I watch a lane, somebody like Quinn will immediately establish, this is how I'm going to win the lane. Right? He started off in Chant Totem. He just double smacked BZM immediately. He's like, I'm going to push you out of this lane. I know you're going to try and cut waves, so I'm just going to make you like give your life hell as soon as possible.
I mean, also, this lane isn't going that well for him. It's basically Primal favored at this point in terms of the net worth. The BZM just shoving waves in, not really playing versus Shaker. I mean, it's something you can always do with this hero, too. That's the thing about Primal. It's the reason we saw like LGD first picking the hero in the last patch. I mean, the hero can just clear waves from like level 4.
Yeah.
So he theoretically doesn't care about any matchup in the game. Even the Shaker that's a tough one, he can get through the lane for it. My concern isn't necessarily the lane, it's just, you know, what happens in these fights. Like, can Quinn match the Primal on the map? And so far, I mean, this game's looking a lot better for gaming. The lanes are going pretty well. His Faceless Void's having a great start. And the Brood is starting to power up top of the board for Ace here. And he has the boots. This is the part in the lane that becomes very tough for the Ursa to sustain here. Is it time to go to the Mighty Mines?
It's looking like it.
Without
Bottom important lane, definitely. Yeah, rotation through the gate, but not good enough to save Seb. He's going to fall. The Boar's trying to chase through.
And this lane is just, it's backfired for the Keeper here. As the skirmish top. Also, we're going to try and push out Yuragi, but he's not strong enough on his own. I think this Faceless Void really disrupted what they wanted to do with this Coddle matchup. It's one of the carries that not only dodges a lot of the damage Coddle can put out that abuses this Grimstroke matchup, but it's also a carry that has mobility, so you can't really blinding light the Inkswell that effectively. He just leaps back on top of you with it, and you insta-proc it. Yeah. I don't know. This matchup I do think is good on paper, but the Faceless Void pick really just messed with what Seb wanted to do here, and it's going to slow his game down for sure. Quinn gets a little pounding. There's trouble. Not too happy about that one, but of course, I mean, what can you do? His behavior score is probably too low to tip him backs.
Do you think that actually applies in private games?
I don't know.
That'd be really funny if that was the case.
Probably the case. I mean, he just can't talk to his team. He's trying to type the Roche timer, doesn't go through.
Oh, BZM is committing here and does manage to get it, but will he die for this? It's looking like a big yes.
Yeah, DD
that can't be worth it, right?
I mean,
yeah, support dying for Wisdom Rune, sure, but that is
trade-off.
Your mid laner level 6.
You do deny a lot of XP from these supports, but also you give it back, and I mean they're pretty high level.
Yeah,
probably not worth
486 experience.
Yeah, it's probably not worth it. If he gets a kill out of that with that DD, I can see it for sure. Well, it's going to slow his game down a bit and push him back to the bottom here. More space for Quinn as well. Still, I mean, Duracho's just sitting down here. It's generally not what you want with this Faceless Void Beast matchup. You want to kick him out. This lane's just not gone well enough for OG that they can accomplish that. You're going to have to play a bit more defensive, especially with Quinn lurking around. And Yuragi will eventually get kicked to the Mighty Mines, so time to start mining it up. Oh no, he's buying salve. That's so expensive, man.
He just does not want to give this Broodmother the lane.
I mean, you can understand why. The game's not going to get much better for you if you just give the Brood free time. It's just going to follow you, kick you out of the jungle, take your camps.
So you have to make a hold somewhere. Why not make it now?
Yeah, but
I mean, the Primal Beast is going to make a rotation up there eventually.
Yeah,
right?
you can't hold it unless, as OG, you're willing to commit the Primal's time to this lane, which is an option. I mean, Primal's happy to do that.
Yeah.
At the same time, you want to commit the Primal bottom to start getting the Beast progression on the map in terms of taking the tower, kicking the Void out. So you had to choose between the two. They chose bottom here on OG. I think that's probably the more reliable and the better choice, honestly. I think going top is like a bait. I think your chances of making something happen there are pretty low versus the Brood, and kicking out this Void is pretty damn reliable.
That's what the portal's for.
Nice little echo.
Still going for Dyrachyo
aggressive
here, but that's not going to work. OG, BZM over-aggressive again with the Primal Beast. Just not working out for him.
Yeah, this is a very awkward game. He's trying to make some like weird moves solo, but he just doesn't have the damage on these cores. Something OG's gonna have to respect is the amount these two supports can turn stuff around on you. Like, Grim Phoenix is a nasty support duo when they get to combine with everybody in this game. Of course, you have great synergy with the cores between the Shaker and the Faceless Void going in, but this support duo is also just pretty good on their own. Like, you get a good Soulbind out with some Phantoms going in, you get hit by the Phoenix Spirits, you are stuck. Can't do anything. I guess only Yuragi can power through it. He's getting beat down. He'll have to switch lanes, and Ace follows him right back. No space for the bear. It's going to be recovery time for OG in this game, which leads me to believe you better start stacking some Ancients and stacking them fast. And Seb, we're straight into that triangle, getting him up. Damn, is it going to be slow coming out of this early game. And that is going to be a lot of space for the Brood. Like, this Brood is just massive.
How many spiders do you think it would take to bring down a bear? A grizzly bear?
What, in real life?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the spider. Well, if a black willow bites it, it just dies.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's the most toxic spider in the world.
Yeah, but the bear's very big.
I mean, so?
Thinking about this.
I mean, it's gonna mess it up enough that it'll probably die, you know? How many normal spiders? Wow. Probably say like 2,000.
4,000 net worth lead for Gaming Gladiators. I'm sorry, that's just all I could think about.
Great segue there. Quinn does not have his blink.
Okay, OG, you had such a great game one. They're still gonna get this.
He got him.
Yeah, he did get the kill. That was a very awkward bit of synergy. OG really not clicking as well in this game too as they did in game one.
I mean, the Solar Bind is also nice for the Primal, right? You get some extra like magic amp, but
yeah.
Quinn actually getting that kill was pretty big because it allowed him to finish his blink, and he got some extra levels out of it. So he's not honestly too sad about that. Like, it's 4 heroes for him to finish his item and get some XP. I guess you take that, right?
Sure.
Big question for Gaiman is how much can they try and invade OG side of the map so you can't make the recovery here? If you can steal the stacks, get control of the triangle, that's the biggest thing. And it pretty much comes down to where does Ace want to go? Or I guess where does Dyrachyo want to go? So they're going to smoke this Midas Void into mid.
Jump onto him. Well, it doesn't get the stun off, but he can't commit the Chronosphere for it. The swap is going to come out from Kitrak. That's going to save BZM's life, at least for now.
You have a blink up. Is Quinn going to go?
Oh, gets hit by the Wave of Terror. Not able to get the blink to go for the kill onto the Primal Beast. They can look for others, though. Dyrachyo will follow Quinn in. They'll catch the Coddle as well. Seb falls as OG struggling to find their second kill of the game.
And you saw Ace backstabbing that fight as well. So if these fights go long, though, they're going to bring the Brood in. And again, the Brood is the most terrifying hero on the map right now, so you have to dodge it a little bit if you're OG. You have to control these stacks right now. Centaur Stomp can only do so much for you. Quinn will just clean it up.
Bait a little bit. Oh, they couldn't catch Phoenix.
This is your triangle. It's getting invaded. Stacks going down. What are you going to do?
Ground and pound. MC going to be caught by the spiders now. Slowed down by the shark fight as well. They also have the egg to throw out. Kitrak tries to go for the swap.
Killed by the dragon.
Quinn jumps in the middle of it, and sure, they don't get the kill on MC, but he dies, and they get 2 other kills, BZM and Kitrak, and they'll claim that triangle, bringing Ace to the fight. Absolutely no mercy on Gaming Gladiators in this game too.
This is exactly what you want with the lineup. Some early fight with your support levels going to work. I mean, the 304 build has paid off for Celery here. A great egg positioning. The only solace for OG is that MC died to neutrals, but that is not great when the stack gets stolen. However, that is...
okay, what?
That's some fuzzy-wuzzy action right there. Is Dyrachyo, a Dyrachyo death here, gonna feed a big one into Yuragi's pocket. They need it. That's a breath of morale right there.
The breath of morale.
You were on your... It's a hopium, but like, I mean...
Sweet hit of
You're
hopium.
inhaling it right now. It tastes pretty good. You're an OG fan. A couple more of those. Arcane Rune for BCM, who's still looking for Blade Mail, by the way, at 14 minutes here.
This is
God, this is a slow Primal game.
I feel like Primal games are like guaranteed usually for the first 20 minutes. Like maybe you make some rotations, you fail to get some kills or something, but usually you're still able to get the farm.
So he just dies committing for a Lotus.
Yeah, it was very silly.
I mean, what is that like? Oh, I forgot the time walk.
I don't know what that was.
Well, he's dead again. So, I mean, that's another 800 gold kill.
OG have found a pressure point. I'm going to keep on hitting it.
Well,
Apparently that's Dyrachyo.
Yeah, that's the same. You're not going to debate me with that one. I knew that was going to be
let me show me the reaction on the second death. Because
Twins looking. If they don't find anything here, though, this is a big win for OG. Like, they're going to dodge the smoke.
They're going to force it.
He's very deep, though.
Oh, he might get chain stunned here. BCM's going to grab him, so they have to burst. Oh, they're not going to get it. The silence comes through from the Grim Stroke, and the egg is going to explode on top of BCM, who's silenced. Yeah, no escape for these heroes. Ace is going to keep hunting for more. Inkswell on him will help him catch up to Seb. Quinn will deliver the final blow.
You just can't kill these bugs. These phantoms. With the Phoenix coming in on top, you just get stuck. You're just permanently silenced. And if your Ursa's not there in the fight, the egg is basically never going down. And the second the Brood connects, it's way too much
going for this kill and
damage,
but they get it this time.
Man, Yuragi is finding the openings for OG right now. There's not much else going their way, but you cannot complain about this Ursa's impact. He has found basically 2.5 of the big 3 core kills in the last 5 minutes.
Battle Fury, he's getting active.
Yeah, he's doing it all. It's the only thing going right for OG right now. It's definitely not the fights. It's not the Brood. It's not their triangle, but the bear. He's coming in hot.
I just watched Hiragi stack for himself. He's like, fine, I'll do it myself, guys.
I mean,
I'll get the kills.
his supports
I'll make
aren't
the
alive,
moves.
so.
I'll stack for myself. I'll do everything.
Even got the rune. Blade Meal finally up. Didn't do much in that fight. At least it's something. All right, this is the question I've been asking. Like, is activating Blade Mail for the extra little damage when farming camps that worth it?
That was no damage because he had a shield rune.
That's right.
So, but they have the follow-up there. So, guess
yeah,
didn't matter. Doesn't matter how many shield runes you have.
Yeah, Seb is scratching the noggin on this one. This is a tough hole to get out of. I mean, you have the Locket Coddle. I mean, you have some heals. It is another Chrono down. Can you punish the Chrono being down with another Dyrachyo?
Okay, just keep hitting Dyrachyo. OG are just going to try and make Dyrachyo rage out of this game. Usually it's Quinn.
Well, he can't do it anymore. You're afforded by your own team. I mean, these deaths are adding up, man. Like, you look at these net worths, it's an 8K gold lead, but you can get stretched on the map from the Beastmaster and the Coddle Primal push. Your pickoff is only as good as the Shaker can kill the cores and how well the Brood can connect to the fight. Like, this lineup is a little static by gaming. So if you can keep running them around the map, play around the Beast, draw gaming away from each other and find the pickoffs, you still got a lot going for you. I mean, this is a first pick bench. These are great goes from OG if they can keep capitalizing.
Oh, lost vision of them there for a second, but BCM's there on the other side. Oh, we got off the Phantoms somehow between the grab. Didn't matter, though. He still had enough follow-up, and there was no rotation from Gaming Gladiators. I think they're probably going to make the call. Okay, guys, let's just stop going bottom.
And honestly, I like that Seb is just... oh, my God. I like that MC... it's because the off-lane swap, man. I was unintentional. Sorry. I like that MC has stayed mainly in this bottom lane, especially around the OG vision, because this is a very easy game where, like, you know, he made that move top, he killed the Void, but outside of that, he's kind of played his own game. And I think this is a game where you really easily could have got sucked into some bad fights and just tried to join them, because, like, oh, this game is getting out of control, I need to be there. Yeah. But honestly, you're just going to feed on top of that. And that's the thing that's been working well for OG is the Beastmaster pressure has drawn these cores back to a part of the map that they are not secure in and don't want to be in with everybody, and it's led to pickoffs on the map right now. And it's gotten this beast to Helm of the Overlord pretty much. And that's a big timing for OG because you're still looking at an Ursa lineup that wants to do early Roshans. So that 8k gold lead has gone down to 6 off of these Void pickoffs. You finish your Ags on the Earth Spirit. This is time for Quinn to make his presence felt in this game and secure some big core kills or fights on this battle for Ursa to deny the Roshan comeback potential. This is a huge pickoff if they get it.
Can he get off the Enrage first? No, he's going to be Blink, Echo Slam, Chain Stun very easily.
That is exactly what they're looking for because that is 50 seconds on the sideline, which means this Helm of the Overlord that is coming out for MC. In fact, he just got it and he got a goal on one of the better creeps you can get with it on this first go. You can't make the move with it now. And that Roshan is getting denied. And it might get denied to the point where Ace says, you know what? Why don't we just do it, boys?
Sure.
I got early Lincolns. Like, they can't swap me. They can't roar me. Yeah, this move top. Trying to
give it up no
pressure.
Space to operate with. Thanks to a laning ward they had. They know the heroes are up here. They're going to go for the picks. Catching Kitrak, but not doing enough. They have the Chronosphere that's going to be able to grab all 3, though. Plenty of follow-up here from Game of Gladiators as they can keep it going with the Inkswell, stopping the grab there for BZM. And one by one, OG will lose their trio here in the top lane.
It's too greedy on the map. And Gaming get the punish. Fast move back to top, using the Shaker Ags for pretty much 4 kills in a row. The best you can hope for here. That Inkswell combination is deadly. It's going to push him towards a very fast BKB. Oh, the Golem. The Golem.
Ah, he got the deny in the tower and gets the Golem kill. Nope, it did not.
I mean, nobody,
good job.
Nobody
Good job,
takes MC's Golem.
Kill it himself.
May take his team. May take his carry player. May take his captain. Nobody takes his Golem.
That's a lot of Eye of Viziers I just saw.
Adam's not as bad as
one
it
for
used to be.
BZM.
I don't know why BZM wanted it, but I mean, it probably feels nice, but the lower mana capacity on the Primals, a little sad.
Yeah, but he's got a coddle.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably figures that on me.
But you want to be Chakring this Ursa. That's the big combination in this game, honestly.
That's true.
This hero's really good with the Chakra magic. Double overpower, double clap. It's all good. And this Roche will eventually fall. This got delayed, man. Like the pick off on the triangle that led into the multi-kills top. It really just hurt this timing. I mean, imagine you had Aegis for that whole period with the Shaker Ags, right? That's a very different sequence. Game and not shying away from the fight, even with an Aegis. I think they'll be happy to take it if they can find a good opening. You just Inkswell this Shaker in. He's almost 3,000 HP.
Echo Slam with the Inkswell, but they do have the swap to be able to bail out these heroes. Yuragi, meanwhile, goes for the back line. Couldn't quite finish off. Now it's going to be soulbound up. That is really bad for him. The Quinn, he can keep jumping after this one. They have the Supernova to protect. A nice Force Staff gets him away from Quinn, who's still trying to land on top of these heroes, but the Hawk is keeping him at bay. OG successfully gets some spells out of Game of Gladiators. Now jump back in for the kill. Man, it finished up the Grimshow. Oh, jump in from Quinn. Not enough to finish up BZM. Still get the 2 kills. Lose nothing for it. Call it a third triple kill for Yuragi. What a turn from OG.
Beautiful fight here, and no Chronosphere in sight. Dyrachyo unable to connect there. Was finishing up this Manta, but that'll get the BKB for BZM. Just a really nice jump from Yuragi to start that fight off. He instantly gets on both supports, zones them out of the fight, and the Shaker jump. I don't think you can just echo a core like that if you don't know where there's vengeance. The swap just resets this entire fight, prevents the Shaker from bursting a core, and suddenly you're in a long duration engagement where the Brood is also getting rooted by these Hawks, man. These things add up over the course of a long fight like that. Multiple roots on these melee cores, really just shutting down the mobility here. And just perfectly kited. Second Inkswell did nothing as well. And then you go back in. BZM has faith they're going to be able to clean it up. Chakra Magic, lower the cooldowns, and suddenly this lineup coming together when OG needed to during this Aegis period. Of course, you still have the Chronosphere on Dyrachyo, so you're not going to be able to create too much map pressure here. And the scaling from Gaimin is nothing to scoff at, as I think this OG lineup wanted to be in a better position at this point in the game. But hey, some glimmers of hope.
Yeah, you wanted the Ursa to be in a position at this point to be like solo hunting down the Void, right?
Sure, but honestly, given the start, the fact that Yuragi's here is quite impressive, right?
Yeah.
He's had a very, very good Ursa. Ursa's not a hero that often plays from behind that well, and he's done a pretty damn good job of it. And he just got a Tormentor for his team, so that's a shard for the Venge. He finished Ags. This is an early Ags for the Ursa. That means he's a guaranteed ult in these fights no matter what you do to him if you're gaming, unless you get like the silence on him with the stun combination, which can happen. But in general, it should be pretty strong here. And it will be that perma enrage build with the Octarine. So if you get to the late game,
okay,
it's going to be annoying.
One thing about this build is it does seriously limit your burst potential as a hero. Right?
Yeah, your damage is a lot lower.
And I don't really feel like the other heroes on the side of OG will keep that damage up going later into the game.
I mean, you have Venge Beast though, right? You have a lot of damage buff here. Like, honestly, I think it's okay. I don't know if you need the straight up extra physical from the Ursa. I think the way you win the fight if you're OG is the fight goes long. Like, the Brood Insatiable runs out, the Chrono maybe kills somebody, but somebody else gets swapped. This egg gets killed or it runs out, and then you take the fight, and you're way stronger at that point. Bar some crazy time dilation.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Kitrak will not make it out of this spot alive, but he can get a little extra time with the swap.
I mean, he killed the Phantom.
True. Killed Grimstroke's wife.
Actually, he didn't kill the Phantom. It's his wife?
Yeah. Thought you were the lore master.
I don't think it's his wife, dude.
The Phantom is his wife.
Where does it say that? I don't see it anywhere there.
It literally calls it she and her, and his whole backstory is the fact that he slaughtered his village.
Yeah, but we don't know if he actually married her.
What?
That's what I'm saying. Did they engage in a pact of marriage ritual? It's just his most beloved. These are important factors.
That's the stupidest recovery I've heard in my life.
I mean, if you're
you got caught out not knowing your lore.
I mean, honestly, who gives a damn about lore? Nobody gives a crap about the lore.
I believed one of your first things you ever said when you started talking about lore was, wow, a lot of people like hearing about lore.
That's why I don't like it anymore. It's too into it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys need to complain about it more. There's that double stun thanks to the shard. Unfortunately, Kitrak once again. He's going to go for the kill off the swap thanks to the Ursa Enrage. They might just, the Chronosphere. It ruins it.
They got baited,
you can enrage off and have all the status resistance you want, but when time is frozen, you don't do a damn thing. That is going to be 4 down as MC has no way out of this either. They'll be able to run him all the way through. Okay, I mean, the fights were going okay for OG recently, but I felt like that was probably because Dyrachyo just wasn't there. Now we see Dyrachyo get into the fight, and it makes a big difference.
I don't know. I guess OG they just took the gamble that the Void wasn't there for the Chrono.
Yeah.
You get the egg kill, but that's a very big gamble. Like, you have to assume when this Phoenix is playing that aggressively, he has the Void, right? Otherwise, this is just insane. It is very close to, like, stunning him and just killing him here. It's an understandable play, but Tofu just knows the limits a little bit better. And, I mean, the second that Chrono's out, you're done. That is not a fight you will ever win with this lineup, especially when the Ursa ult is used pretty early here.
Yeah.
Butterfly timing for Ace is going to power him up into the man fight category. And yeah, gaming cruising right now, looking for that next Roshan to potentially just use it to go high ground here. And
so you have
still very strong with the Faceless Void Phoenix.
Yeah. At least when it comes to himself, he has no control as the Ursa over the Faceless Void. Now he's got a Broodmother with Butterfly.
Well, he has mind control.
I think he's just running out of heroes that he can hit.
Did you know that's his name, by the way?
MC?
Yeah, you know it stands for mind control. I don't know if you were around back then.
Thank you for that player lore.
Oh, you're welcome.
Great.
A little fun fact of the day for you.
Well, Ace is not afraid of being jumped on, but maybe he should be.
Okay, no Chrono here, so they know they can just commit.
BZM doesn't make it over the cliff to chase after the rest of Game of Gladiators.
Looks like Ace's mind got controlled. Step once more.
Yeah, you're not getting Quinn, not when he has an Illusion Rune and Shadow Blade.
Solar Bind is going to be nice versus the Shaker and the Void here. It's like decent control post the jumps. You just can't move.
Speaking of not moving, he's going to buy a shard on MC.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the networks here for the 2 other OG cores.
Oh, no.
What were you saying?
He's going to get the shard on the Beastmaster.
Right.
If he gets Chakra Magicked a couple times,
It's a lot of Hawks.
can he get off 6 different Hawks?
If you have Octarine.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. That's
Is it
permanent.
possible for him to get up to like 8 Hawks?
Look at this little find.
That's a nice pickup. They'll deal with the Phantom, but ultimately there is too many things that can give control here. Yuragi is pretty much operating off of little hops to keep him alive.
You know what I like about that play, though?
Yeah, what's that?
I don't know if you noticed, but on the minimap, pink player, a la Seb,
Yeah.
he TP top.
Okay.
I think that tells you the mindset of Seb. We looked at that situation and went, oh, this guy's dead for sure.
Yeah.
He's a fucking goner.
Yeah.
What the hell is he doing there?
Yeah.
Seb looks at that and goes, you know what? I can make something of this. I can save him. I
Yeah,
can make the OG magic happen.
But he couldn't.
That's why he canceled it. But for a second, that's how he thinks. He's always thinking about how he can make the most of any situation. You know, he never gives up on the play. That's your problem, Austin. You give up on the play, Austin. All right? You need to play like Seb. In fact, you need to cast like Seb. All right? That should be the next lesson for the
Wait,
tomorrow.
are you saying I should put on a French accent?
Cast like Seb. Never give up.
I'm not going to try and do a French accent because I think it would come off.
Oh yeah, it would end your career.
Extremely badly.
Yeah, that's not the one to do.
My understanding of living in Germany is the French are very protective of their language and their accent. So,
Yeah, we'll leave that one where it is. As Dyrachyo finishes Satanic. And he is very tanky, he's very beefy. Also an interesting choice. Maybe just wanted a second Dispel here with in terms of the Manta, but honestly, this doesn't strike me as a Satanic Void game.
what does it strike you as?
I thought the Butterfly, or just more damage, or, I mean, you can also just go BKB, have guaranteed Chrono. Even Lincoln's might not have been too bad versus like Swap Roar Initiation.
Yeah, the only way he dies, right, is he's getting pulverized or
And
roared.
he's not going to be the first in. Ace is going to be the first one in. Woo! Yeah, that's a Earthshaker damage right there.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Yeah, that's what that hero does. He makes you disappear. Honestly, I don't think it really matters what items game even buy in this game, right? It's just about getting items and then how they take the team fight. And if they get their ults off, they're probably going to win the fight. Like Soulbind, Egg, Chrono, if they land, you're probably winning that engagement. But OG's lineup can't really deal with them right now. If for a very, very long time in this game, and they're just not getting items. It's very slow. I guess the next best item they're getting right now is the Hex for Seb. With like the Coddle cast range, that helps you start the fights, particularly with this swap. Swap into Hex is very strong.
You'd be
But
stronger if
you
he
are
got an
weak now,
Aghanim Scepter, but Kitrak is not getting that anytime soon as he dies again.
And you lost this Aegis. So.
Yeah, lost second Roche.
This is a time to go high ground if you're gaming right here. Satanic helps you do that. You're a lot tankier. That was part of the idea too. You put the Sages on this Void with 2600 HP. He's a beast. All 3 cores for gaming having a pretty good time here as their supports not slacking either. A lot of utility between them. It's gonna be an ult pop for this Ursa.
Look at Taraji.
I think Chrono in here.
You're really going for it. Trying to go for the Primal Roar, pops Manta, gets a little bit of disjoint. Quinn follows it up. Is this all going to be enough to kill Yuragi? It is. No response from OG.
Just has no help, no bailout.
Yeah, with the Vengeful Spirit dead, only just now coming back.
does have
Durantio's
buy.
in pretty damn deep here. This is crazy. They've finished off life number 1. That Aegis is now down. Do they have the control? Actually, Yuragi doesn't care. He's going to go for the back line here with the Inkswell, but no!
But why?
Didn't get off the Enrage. A dieback for him. OG trying to jump in, but a big slam from Quinn will keep most of them back. The control is there onto the Primal Beast. They'll finish him off. Vengeful Spirit dies next. Okay, apparently diving tier 3s, tier 4s. It's fine.
I just have too many lives right here. They still have a cheese left. Uragi just never got to that BKB. He was looking for it. He had a 3,200 gold before that fight and ends up dying twice without being able to do anything. Way too much control. I mean, Chakra Hawks doing what they can. Oh, they really messed that illusion up.
Doing a lot to an illusion.
Both these games pretty one-sided. Demon strike back and look like getting a win for the day. Or it's in near reach here. They can taste it. A taste that they are not familiar with. The taste of potential victory.
Victory. Yeah, they've really struggled with that.
They definitely have. Okay, there's some bashes there. You know, chill out, man.
And
Bash
the swap back. Oh no, he had to use a defensive swap when they're closing in on the fountain. That doesn't feel great. No comeback potential.
I mean, they didn't call it yet, though. And that says something.
I feel like you're trying to say it's like the Seb thing, and
I mean, he just
there's
bought
the OG magic and stuff, but
time to make some magic happen.
maybe the pessimist in me says they have the wrong reason.
That is the pessimist in you.
Oh, Quentin hopping away, still gets grabbed by the Pulverizer with the BKB from BZM, but his damage does not compare to the HP of some of these heroes. They actually jump back in for that one. And Quinn, they managed to finish up BZM, still turning around with a Fisher. Kind of blocks out Uragi from getting back inside the fountain. He does manage to get there, though, with Darachu caught just outside of it, does die.
That's
and
an interesting egg.
Inside of the fountain will not live either. Okay. Gaming Gladiators had a little fun with it. It does mean OG will keep this game going.
See, you would have given up. But Seb, he has 12K behavior score. He never gives up. And this game is still going.
I don't...
And now you've overextended.
You know what? I'm just going to say...
Straight into their trap.
I'm going to bet Seb does not have 12K behavior score.
I mean...
because as many documentaries there are about Seb and his attitude on a team, his attitude in pubs doesn't quite match.
What really counts? Is it the behavior score? Is it the metaphorical behavior score? You know, and I think Seb has a 12K behavior score in all of our hearts.
That's true.
I think that's what counts. Actually, I don't even know if that's... He made a lot of enemies in his days. Yuragi's still looking for that next item, by the way. It has been 10 minutes. Picked up a casual Glove of Haste, but that is about it here. And the levels reflect the story for sure.
Yeah, leave it to Wisdom. Who wants it? Who doesn't have 20 yet? Sound off. Actually, all of them have 20. In fact, they're closing in on 25 on their cores, so... They're gonna give it to Faceless Void. They'll finish it up. Get the 25 talent.
Yeah, this is where the lack of damage. I mean, it hurts you, but let's be fair. And when you're down 30K, just about anything hurts you.
That's why you need the fountain.
I mean, that fountain did work. Not versus the egg, but versus everything else. Can you actually egg deeper than that? Can you egg behind the fountain?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Dire are scanning.
How deep can we go? It's the only question that remains here.
Radiant's bottom tower is
How
under
deep
attack.
can Gaming Gladiators go? Because
Right.
we have Octarine on the Ursa. He may be able to live for a very long time, but can they kill anything? Another swap back, another attempt at a save. BZM looking to go back in, charges forward, looking for the back line. Celery almost dying. They will be able to grab him.
That's a pretty nice egg.
A Grimstroke perhaps, but the A Chronosphere will definitely be the winner of the fight as Seb, he's going to be chased down by the Broodmother, and the Ursa will eventually get sight the
How's
fight.
he on a cliff?
No longer able to enrage. How did he end up there?
I actually have no... What?
Huh.
I mean, he's having a giggle about it, so... Seb said something. Probably said, hey, man, I told you to play like me, not Arteezy. But either way, OG will tap out of that game. Yeah, that was pretty one-sided. That Brood pick did him dirty, I think. I mean, his hero isn't as broken as he used to be, but you give him a start like that, Ace is going to run away with it. And I think the biggest thing about that game is, let's say the Brood doesn't have as good a start he has. Let's say even Ace is like 1,000 gold, 1,500 less. The thing about Ace is he knows how to make the connections, right? There's 3 things he did in that game. 1, he went bottom to defend the tower.